I'm cutting it right there. 115. I'm cutting it. Hands off the keyboard. Oh, my coins. All my coins. Ah, my coins. Oh, man. Why did I just spend 115 million coins on a shovel? So this is what I paid for. A shovel that digs up dirt. Guess I can do some gardening or something. Anyways, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back once again to Hypixel Skyblock. Today, I have the Midas Shovel. And this was the new weapon that was added in the Darker Auctions hosted by our lovely Mayor Scorpius. Thank you so much. Thank you. And YouTube's pretty much been exploding with YouTubers saying this is the most powerful weapon in Skyblock. This is the best weapon, trying out the Midas staff, and all that. And I want to make a video slightly differently. Alright, as you can see, if you can't tell, my Midas staff does not have any stars, since, well, of course, I'm Catacombs 23, or I'm a big noob, okay? And I want to test this weapon out of how the average player would see it. Not a sweat that's been able to play this game 24 hours a day, 18 days a week, you know what I mean? And because I could just, just say, I could hit a zombie and say, wow, 630k, or I could put on my necrotic shadow goggles here, throw these on, go over to a zombie and say, this is the best sword, 1.1 million damage, and it's not even dungeonized. But you know what? I could just do that. I end video, but no. Today, we're going to do some real tests with this, alright? We're going to give a proper analysis on if this weapon is properly useful, how annoying the ability is, the fact that it, throws a line of dirt down, blocking your vision, and you can't really control it very well, and if you go through a tree, it just stops. So, if you're ready for today's video, please subscribe, alright? I mean, we're 10,000 subs from YouTube rank. That's huge. And YouTube says that the more coins I spend on useless items, the more subs I get. So you're supposed to subscribe, okay? So take 4 seconds to do that now. I mean, I upload Skyblock daily. What more could you ask, all right? So anyways, let's get into the actual proper analysis of the 115 million coin golden spoon. Alright, so we're mid-dungeon. I was talking for the last 4 minutes explaining the best ways to use this weapon and all that stuff, but haha, I was recording my desktop screen still from the other clips, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of a restart, but basically, let me go through the enchants I have on this so you guys get a general idea of what's going on here. So I've reforged it to heroic because it gives it more mana. Some people say you should reforge it to sharp so it gets crit damage, so you can left-click with it as well. However, if it's not dungeonized, don't even bother, because it's not going to do much damage left-clicking. We have the Ultimate Wise 5 enchantment and Smite 6, the rest are pretty standard. Ultimate Wise 5, of course, is to reduce the absurd mana cost of 500. This brings our mana cost down to 250 per click, but you can combine it with a level 100 Legendary Sheep in order to bring that down to just a little bit over 200. Now, if we take a look at how we actually use the Midas staff here, it pretty much casts a line of gold blocks that falls on your enemies in a straight line that goes about 15 blocks long. You can cast it diagonal, you cannot cast it vertically. And if it runs into a wall, it just stops. As you can see, if I get really close to a wall, it just stops. So even on staircase like this, it's a little bit sketchy to use. And if you accidentally click too early, you'll end up dying because you're not going to be able to take out an enemy. Now, I want to go down here again and show off fighting it in a gold room. I want to get to the gold room before anyone else does so I can show this off properly. But we're going to freeze the Lost Adventurer. And pretty much the idea of what you want to do is switch between the Scepter and your Midas Staff. This will give you the best amount of damage. Since the staff actually has a 1-second cooldown, you can't just infinitely spam it. So what I like to do is kind of switch between these 3 items, and it'll pretty much give the most damage possible. However, this is known as Mana Death Simulator, and it pretty much annihilates your entire mana bar in about 1 second, which means it isn't really the most ideal thing to do. However, it does give good damage. You can't reach far away enemies from it, making this not a Spirit Scepter replacement. So if you're trying to sell your Spirit Scepter right now, stop, don't do it. You need it for enemies that are further away from you. The Midas Staff is only really used for enemies that are right up close to you, and mini bosses if it's dungeon converted. Now keep in mind, if it's not dungeon converted, you'll be dealing around 1 to 2 million damage with it. However, that's not enough to take out things like mini bosses. You're going to need to deal a significant amount of damage in order to be able to take out mini bosses with it properly. So this is not a Spirit Scepter replacement. You've heard it here. Spirit Scepter is still much better at taking out enemies that will deal true damage to you if you get close, such as Skeleton Masters or other enemies. But if you've got a nice clear hallway like this, the Midas staff will end up doing its job. But as you can see here, I'm kind of getting, like, this Crypt Soul Eater is just destroying me here because I'm not able to hit it because it's not a very accurate weapon. So, in my opinion, is this worth 115 million coins? Well, definitely not when it's going to be dungeon converted. Once it is, you probably will get some better use out of it, since obviously you'll be able to take out things like mini-bosses and other items pretty much instantly. But if you're looking at it, you're Kata 22, Kata 23, and you're debating whether to purchase this weapon or not, I would say probably not. This is just because it's not a very accurate weapon. Alright, we have to do this now because people are taking blood room. But basically, try and stand in the front of the door here. And then all you have to do is basically just spam this as hard as you can. And it does, see, they're all at about half health right now, because you can hit all of them at the same time, which is really, really good. And then if you get stuck in a corner like this, you're going to have to use your Spirit Scepter, because again, this doesn't have the best of AoE damage, just because you can't really use it in a corner like this. So, as much as the Midas Staff goes, it's really good for clearing blood if you can keep them back. And if it's dungeonized, you'll have a much easier time doing this, since it does way more damage. But for the sake of showing how this works without it being dungeonized, it's okay. It's not the best weapon. I would still prefer using the Spirit Scepter in most situations. Yep, okay, we're not going to do the golems then. We'll do the golems later, or we're just going to avoid them at all costs. If they die, I'll just tell you right now, it doesn't do that much damage to golems. So we'll see here, the trick I like to use is to freeze them with the ice spray. This way I can get more of a consistent amount of damage on them since they're going to be standing still. But as you can see, it doesn't give much lifesteal, and I'm going to die real quick here, so we're just going to do this. And we're going to try not to die, yeah. So no, it's not going to make you blatantly overpowered, it's not going to make you the most invincible player in all of Skyblock. It's a weapon that does good damage, but it's difficult to use. So, for the very end of this video, I'm going to give you my full and honest opinion on this Midas staff before and after it's dungeon converted. Before it's dungeon converted, well, it's a weapon that has pretty okay range. It's not the best of range, assuming that I can't go and hit something over there on top of that mountain, unlike the scepter, in which I can. So for the range, I'll say it's okay. It's not good by any means, but it's okay. For damage, it is phenomenal. It does tons of damage, but again, if you're able to hit it. Would I recommend this weapon for people who are under Catacombs 25? No, not at all, don't get it. Now, once it's converted into a dungeon item and 5-starred, would I recommend it? Maybe. The only reason I would say this is because it does insane damage once it's dungeonized. You're able to slay things like Shadow Assassins, Lost Adventurers in 1 or 2 clicks, and despite it having pretty bad accuracy, once you're, Catacombs 25, you'll learn how to use this weapon a little bit better, and it will do enough damage to kind of outstand the opinion that it's impossible to hit things, because when you do hit things, well, they get destroyed. It's not very useful against bosses. I think something like a left-click mage way, way outclasses it still. So, my overall rating, if I were to rate this weapon on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 6. It's okay. I wouldn't pay 115 million coins for it. So, if you were wondering how the Midas staff performs, that's my full and honest opinion of it. So, if you enjoyed today's video, I do ask kindly for you to like the video, and again, please subscribe. This was literally my entire bank. I have a 4 million coin loan out right now anyways, so, thank you to 100k Pure Alex, aka 2 in my Discord, for helping me with the last little bit of coins in order to be able to pull this video off, so thank you again. And again, subscribe for some amazing daily Skyblock content I post every day. We're on our way to YouTube rank, so I need all of the help I can get, alright? Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.